Hello.
I'm Sherry. I
I'm Vincent.
represent for which is the company. Anyway, I represent one pharma company.
And I represent Pharma Caring, a French pharmaceutical company.
Oh yeah, yeah. Nice to
Um,
meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you for joining us for this meeting.
Yes, yes.
I'm not sure I understand the goal of the local government
Yeah,
who,
yeah.
who invited us here,
Yeah.
but I guess we'll find out as
Yeah.
you know.
Maybe let's
A longer discussion.
clarify the situation a little bit. I represent this company that we want this. What is the Oxypuco, right? Oxypuco.
What is the name of your company again? Sorry.
My name is Superpharma.
Superpharma.
Yeah, Superpharma. I represent for Superpharma. So this conversation from our side, from my understanding, is that we try to negotiate a volume of those 10,000 fruit that between us. Otherwise, this quota will leak out to other companies and will determine another the bidding price, which I think it is for our mutual benefit to negotiate some results between us. Right? Is this the same situation for you?
I would definitely prefer to find the best agreement that we can between the two of us.
Okay.
Before that, I think maybe we should introduce each
A little
other's
bit about
activity, background, what
sure.
is. So I've been working at Pharma Caring for the past 20 years, and as I started in the chemistry department, looking for new components, and I'm now the global head of the cancer research. And we are doing advanced research on some type of cancer, which have been progressing a lot over the past years.
Yeah.
What are you guys focusing on?
Yeah, I'm majorly responsible for the management and procurement of Superpharma, and our expertise area is Alzheimer.
Sorry?
Alzheimer? How to say that?
Sorry.
Alzheimer. Anyway, there's a disease. And we found that this fruit is a very crucial resource for our medicine. And we are actually past phase 3 critical test, and we are already ready to launch this medicine. So that we think this fruit is so important, and we want to see whether this can benefit more people with this.
Like how many people are concerned by that disease? Is it
I'm not sure whether my pronunciation for this disease is right.
Can you write it to me?
Yeah. Maybe you can give me this one. It's for elder people.
Alzheimer.
Okay. Yeah.
Alzheimer.
So
Sorry.
I think this population is mass. So we are hoping that this fruit can help our company benefit more people. That's our goal of this.
Okay. And so Oxypuco, you would need a component of the Oxypuco to produce your medicines.
Yes. Is this the same situation for you?
It's kind of similar.
Yeah.
However, we aim at using Oxypuco's components only for short period of time, as we are also trying to produce synthetic components of the Oxypuco within the next 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years. Yeah.
So that would be our timeline to start. Oxypuco has the unpleasant feature of being very rare.
Yeah.
I think we're both suffering from that.
Yeah. Same here.
And mostly what we would be very happy to share whatever results they are, except for the fact that we have some constraints. So I don't know if you have a number of Oxypucos that you would be comfortable with.
Yes. For our company, because we are already ready to launch this medicine, so we will need as many as possible. And I heard from the government that is monopolizing this fruit, that the total capacity of the fruit yearly is only 10,000. Yeah. So I'm also ready to negotiate or have a deal with you to see how to maximize mutual benefit within this capacity of 10,000.
So I think one of
Yes.
if we need to reproduce the components of the Occipuco,
Mhm.
I would guess that most likely
Mm.
we should work together on the development of the synthetic part,
Yeah.
because
We also have a synthetic component.
from what I understand, like how much medication would you be able to produce with like let's say the 10,000 Occipuco?
I don't have the exact number here. The only goal I have is the raw material number. I don't have the output number.
Okay.
Yeah. So
But-
for us, it's like the demand is huge. Like how many, whatever number we can produce, the market is ready to accept it.
Of course,
Yeah.
but then if you can't satisfy the whole market
Yeah.
in the first place,
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be when you're probably going to be able to sell your medication really high.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, if we use all the Occipucos to develop your medication, then we can't use some to
Of
develop
course,
a
I know,
synthetic,
yeah. The problem
then
is like
there is no scalability for your product at the end of the day.
yeah. So I'm not sure I get the point here. So you mentioned before that we two together will develop a synthetic component.
Yeah, so what I was saying is
Yeah.
like one of our goals
Yeah.
is to make the whole. We're working on leukemia, right? So there's
Yeah.
also a lot of cases around the world of leukemia,
I understand.
and our goal is to actually try
Mm-hmm.
to develop a synthetic version
Yeah.
of the Occipuco,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Having a synthetic version would allow us to bring it to an industrial scale and like to produce as many medication for you or
I
for us
understand.
as we would want to,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I would suggest that if they, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but I need your input on that. How valuable or what would be the value of like getting your product straight to market now,
Mm-hmm.
or waiting another couple of years
Mm.
before putting it to market,
Yeah.
so that you can actually produce it in large scale?
Actually, I see from what I have received information that it says that synthetic is still like 3 to 5 years away, maybe from your company side. But the capacity of this fruit is good enough for both of the commercial use and also the laboratory research use. Maybe it's also like the laboratory research use is mentioned to your synthetic part. So I guess that's good enough for us to meet either both part of demands. For this situation, I would first suggest maybe half-half. What do you think of half-half maybe?
So what do you have any view on how much money you would get from your medication at this point in time over, let's say, a period of 3 to 5 years? Do you have like
No, we don't have a commercial like outcome of this money. I only have a budget at hand that allows me to purchase this raw material.
yeah. So I was just thinking,
Yeah.
if we can figure out
That
a
the
num-
lowest
a num-
bid for the government is
a number of like
4,000, yeah.
what is it that you would incur if you don't get the Occipuco now, or what is it that I would incur if I don't get the Occipuco now, and then figure out
Figure out the
what is
loss of the revenue.
exactly the loss of
Yeah.
revenue that would be incurred by
Revenue.
both of our companies. Then that would be a good start to get started. Like good point to start a negotiation. Attending that we have this 4,000 euros hurdle in terms of like minimum price that is required by the local government.
Yeah, I think so. But actually, from my side, not very clearly, but I have a rough number of like 12,000 per fruit. That's the outcome of maybe the revenue stream of this each fruit will generate for our company,
So your company would generate 12,000.
like per fruit, so to say. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you just give me a second.
So the loss of sales could be like 12,000.
Well, it would be 4,000 because you would buy them, or like depending on how much price you buy them.
Yeah,
Right?
that exclude the price part. Maybe the final outcome, final revenue we can generate from the fruit is 12,000. Let's put aside the cost part, and let's negotiate about this part. How about your company?
Well, so on our side, we don't have. The thing is, we don't use the Oxypuco
For like
on a
commercial,
direct,
yes.
on a direct.
Maybe can you like estimate the commercial value? Probably, yeah. Since we are trying to put it in number.
Just give me a second.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna run a few numbers, but I'm gonna try to give you an answer as well.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
So on our side, the way we're using the Oxypuco is not a direct use.
Yeah.
So the Oxypuco is just an input in our production process, and the funny thing is it actually needs to go through another living organism. So it needs to be like consumed by a living organism to produce something that we can then use for our medication towards leukemia. Right? So the output is, let's say, much more
hard to calculate.
Uncertain than in the case of the actual fruit. We don't have an actual number for what profit we're gonna get out of it because we're just we're a bit less advanced than you are. Obviously, we would get revenues if we find if we can develop a viable solution to cure leukemia. So the profits would be there without a doubt. Right now, I have no evaluation of what the product would be, especially because we haven't yet gone through the phase 3 trials. So this would be the first hurdle to match to know whether it's working or not.
So I think that from the government side, they are seeing that the fruit will be allocated proportionally based on your maybe our bidding price. How about we look at this side and see how much we are willing to pay, and then we allocate it according to the bidding price. Because the bottom line here is like 4,000.
Yep.
So maybe we can access from our part the revenue and the profit or your value, see how much we are willing to pay, and then we allocate the number according to the bidding price. How do you see that?
So what I would suggest,
yes,
I don't know if you're gonna agree with that, is I feel that going through the bidding process, so not agreeing now on some positive outcome would definitely hurt both of our profits.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
right?
I'm not saying like public process, but also like within us. If we put the same number here, same bidding price, we get half and half, and maybe one side are willing to pay more, then one side will get a little bit more. But this price is definitely lower when compared to the public bidding process, right?
But what I hear from our conversation is that you would maximize your profit if you get all the fruits, and I would maximize the profit if I get all the fruits.
Yeah.
So if we start saying that if one side pays a bit more than the other, we're just gonna end up like
very high
and not making any value out of that situation. So my suggestion would be maybe if we leave you some more fruits
Yeah.
than what we get, and let's say we keep enough fruits to either conduct the synthetic research on Oxybuco or to do our free trials, then what I would expect is maybe to find a point where the loss of revenue that we incur going through the bidding process would just be covered by, I don't know, some joint
Corporation.
actually what I would suggest would be some cross reward. So the moment we get the synthetic, you would get access to it at a lower price than the market price.
I understand.
And the moment and we would get some revenue from your sales for the times before we can actually start run to the commercial part of our product.
So if my understanding is right, for example, like the lowest bidding price is 4,000. So we both have 4,000. By the government rule, we both get half, but you are willing to offer us like 70% and you get 30%. And that's some part of our revenue may go to support or to finance your research in that area because we get that more and we get more reward. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, something like that.
That's like
or
a good deal for me, yes.
Or, I mean, the way I thought about it would be more like to do like 50-50 from the beginning, and maybe we would get like some of your revenue right now, but the moment we get the synthetic, then you would get the synthetic for like much cheaper than you would get like a preference.
That's for our long-term cooperation.
It is, but I mean in pharmaceutical, right? And everything is pretty much long-term, right? So the agreement is obviously we would get like some extra money now out of your sales, or maybe we can find a way to make you feel more comfortable. But the research is already there. Obviously, the expectations are from 3 to 5 years. So within 3 to 5 years, you would have a access to a synthetic that would be much cheaper than the 4,000 you're paying right now for fruit, which would be probably something like, let's say the production cost is 10 or 100 times smaller, which is probably going to be the case, right? You could expect to like pay it, only like 1,000 instead of like 4,000, or and that's something we could definitely agree on.
Okay, I like your proposal, and let's work on this number maybe.
So
now
So what I calculated quickly, right, is if you pay the fruit at 4,000 per fruit, right, for the totality, your expected profit would be like 80 million. Because it would be
12.
Yeah, but it's 12 minus the 4 that you pay. So it's 8 times 10. So it would be 80 million. Right. Okay. So and then it goes all the way down to 0 if you pay the fruit like up to like 4,000. On my side, I'm more than happy to pay the fruit like 4,000. So obviously that would reduce like if we share at the 50%, that would reduce your profit to like 4,000 times 12,000 minus 4,000 times 5,000, because you would get only 5,000 fruit, which is 40 million. I would. So what I could offer, also looking at those numbers, is that what I could offer is to delay your process also, but compensate you for the potential loss. I'm thinking about it like this because I want to run my phase 3 trials,
Yeah.
and I want to develop the synthetic, right?
Mm-hmm.
The potential opportunity cost for you
Yeah.
of not putting the product on the market, and which still bears some uncertainty, right? Because even though you have run through the phase 3 trials and you're in the critical phases, there may or may not be some production issues, some things that are just gonna impair you,
it's already
decrease.
proved. Like,
I know, but I'm saying the moment you're gonna get into production, it may you may have some delays, you may have some issues that would actually decrease the value that you're expecting to get from the product.
Yeah, you're right.
So what I would be happy to do then would be to compensate you for the full potential loss, right? And then get all the fruits. So for you, the financial operation would be square, and it would delay obviously the entrance up to the moment where we get the synthetic, and then the synthetic is on the market and we can both do our products. The advantage for us obviously is that we get our product to be tried and the synthetic to be developed at the same time, which we can't do in any other proposal. The advantage for you is that you get compensated for all potential losses.
I got you. Do you have a specific number that how many fruit you may need for the trial and the research development?
So literally,
Do you have
number.
a number of that?
And that's why I'm raising that proposal. I really need the 10,000.
10,000.
Because the way we work, the way our product works, is that we need those fruit, as I told you, to be consumed by another living being.
And then produce.
And then this living being produces. And to make sure that you have enough to be studied and reproduced to work on the synthetic part, and to have enough to be consumed and produce the sufficient amount of component to build the medication, we need the 10,000. We believe it should be enough. So it's not even a sure thing, but we believe it should be enough.
But 10,000, that leaves us nothing, which is kind of impossible.
The what?
If you take 10,000, the annual capacity is 10,000, right?
Yeah.
So generally it means we take nothing, which is impossible. And
But
from our side, it's also 10,000 we want.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But
That's the problem.
what I'm offering to you is to compensate you for those. So what I just calculated, right?
Yeah.
If you had 10,000, which obviously is most likely not gonna happen, even if we go to the bidding process, right? And you lose, and you have 10,000, and you sell those you buy those 10,000 at 4,000, right? Which is the lowest price you can pay for those, right? Your total benefit would be 80 million, right?
Yeah, that's our internal pricing actually, because the product is not ready to. It's ready to release, but it's not in the market yet. So that's our initial calculation. But considering there are so many patients outside in the world, we are not sure about the final pricing. So maybe it's 120 million, 1,000. Sorry, maybe it's double or triple the price, which I'm not sure. So in that sense, it's not economically fair for me to take zero fruits, but accept your reward based on the initial pricing. You got me?
So you're saying that your initial pricing is wrong?
I don't get the final, because the final one is priced based on the market, but our product is not yet in the market. So what I am saying is that 120 is the maximum I can pay. I'm already showing you the rationale behind this. 120 is the maximum I can pay. Does not mean it's the final pricing. The final pricing will determine by the market, which we do not know yet. So it's not impossible for me to take back zero fruit and wait to see whether this price works.
Well, but I guess most likely your pricing team, when they did the analysis, they counted the potential market for Alzheimer.
Yeah, yeah.
So if they evaluate it, they may have missed it by
Yeah,
10%,
could be.
10%.
But this is only the like purchasing cost, which do not include our production or R&D cost. So I can say that 120 is the base to calculate what I'm willing to give up or what I'm willing to.
120?
Yeah, 120. Like if we take it 4,000, sorry, maybe 4,000 to 100. Yeah. Oh, sorry. 12,000.
Okay.
12,000. So this is the price range again, and
So but
I
again,
would say let's discuss based on the half case, not like 10,000 case. Like if we bid for 4,000 for each fruit, that we get half and half. But based on that, how much each one side willing to give up, and how much one side willing to gain and maybe give compensation, but not based on 0 and 100% part.
okay.
Yes, yes.
So I was also mentioning that because I have information on my side that the
Yeah.
number of fruits in the coming years
Mm-hmm.
is going to improve,
Really?
and most likely by an average. Those are estimation, but it could be between 25 and 50%
Mm-hmm.
per
But
year
from
because
our side, actually, I can share with my information. Our side, the government is only agreed to commercialize 10,000
For
of
the-
seppuku.
for the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it said that even though it wants to expand the capacity, that may harm the environmental issue. So that possibility is I'm not sure.
So
about this.
that's in the current state.
Yeah, currently in the later state, they are considered about environmental issue, and may not willing to improve the capacity. That may be also that's from our information.
Yeah. So I mean, in the current state, if they went more than 10,000 in the current stage,
Yeah.
that would harm.
Mm-hmm.
But with the reinsertion program of because it's an endangered species and they are trying
Yeah.
to implant it in more places, and the protection is actually hopefully going to be efficient enough to just help reinstate the fruit in his natural area. They expect that the production would grow and that they can sell more. And it's also important for the local government because it's going to be a good revenue for them.
Yeah. From our side, the
You don't have that kind of
future
information.
potential for increase of capacity is unlikely or not very positive.
Okay.
Yes. So maybe we can I come here with the assumption that maybe the capacity is standardized at 10,000 per year, not seeing that it will grow in the future.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the one thing I'm trying to get around here is on what I understood from the information that you shared with me, and what I can share with you is that my feeling was that maybe timing is a bit more critical to us than it is to you to a certain extent. Do you know if there is any other of your competitors that is currently working on the same kind of
not that I know.
Product?
Yeah, not that I know.
Or that would be that advanced?
I have no information of that side.
So my point is our needs to goes to produce to both run those trials and produce the synthetic at the same time, because if we don't run the trials at the same time and as we build the synthetic, then the issue is that the moment we are going to get the synthetic, somebody will actually just catch up and just run the trials and compete with us.
Yeah.
So we want to keep that advantage, and you guys are already fully advanced. What do you know? What is the timing approximately to get into through the test 3 phases? How long did it take you?
Allow me some time to go through this material. I don't remember it mentions anywhere.
So I mean, anyways,
Yeah.
if we the risk I have to hedge against, right,
Yeah.
is to have somebody else just jumping in the market and coming in with his own medicine, right? While in the meantime, I can ensure that out of my investment here, I'm gonna generate some profits.
Yeah.
Right. So what I'm happy to get back to, if you are completely against the leaving us a 10,000 fruit and against a potential reward for you guys, like a sure reward, which what I was basically offering you is get an option of like hedging your financial losses against, and for you giving me the whole production of Oxypuco. So what I can offer is, by leaving you some of the production, we are incurring a risk of not generating as much profit from our like leukemia disease curing medication. So what I would expect is then that we can negotiate some kind of arrangement where we would get some of your profits up to the point where we develop our medicine, and if it develops successfully without competition, then we can pay you back this kind of like protection that you front paid.
Yeah, it's like I mentioned before. For example, we both pay the lowest price, which is 4,000, and maybe we get 70%, you get 30%, and we compensate you some money for that to support your research. And then like after 3 or 5 years, when your synthetic is ready, like if we buy from your side, we get 7% of discount. Is that what you have in mind?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I think the numbers wise we can work on it, but my only problem is we have to figure out these two numbers.
These numbers.
And I assume that from both sides we receive the target that we want to maximize the fruit.
If we go in that direction, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of agreeing not to run my phase 3 right now because I won't have enough fruit, right? So I think what I have in mind is I need like 42% or 42% of the fruit to run only
42%.
To run the synthetic
research.
The research. So that's what I would go for, right?
Perfect.
And that would be for both of us buying the fruit at like 4,000, right?
That part I'm a little bit not sure, because if we get this allocation, are we paying the same price, or the government actually?
No, but the government is sorry. The government is only asking for a minimum price of 4,000, so he doesn't get into the allocation. So if we sign a paper with the allocation of like 58.42,
but it's not like done within us. Actually, we are negotiating about the allocation of the quantity.
Yeah.
But the volume and the price that we will lead to the government to decide.
No, the government said that it was a minimum of 4,000. Right?
Yeah, 4,000.
So if we give him 4,000,
it says here is that the number will be allocated proportionally according to the bidding price. But
that's not
we
what
two can discuss beforehand what kind of bidding price we want to offer and what kind of volume we want to get, and offer the bidding price accordingly.
So
yeah, maybe. Do you have this?
Yeah, I have this somewhere. I didn't write that, but so I kept in mind, which is very sec. There we go. Okay, what I have in mind is that we need to submit a joint proposal on how to divide the fruit between us.
Yeah.
And if we don't present a proposal,
it will be externally. But also, I have this sentence that the government is this 10,000 fruit will be allocated proportionally according to the bid. to be more
But I
made
get
or
to me that's only if we get to the second part, right? So
Only
if we
two
get
or
to the
less.
if we get to the bidding process,
Uh-huh.
then the fruit would be allocated.
Yeah.
But if
So
we
the
don't
first step is we reach arrangement. Yes, agreement. Sorry, we reach agreement among us that we will handing a joint proposal, and after that, the number and the bidding price will be decided.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, sure. So we are on the first step. We want to join together and
Yeah,
do not let others.
No. So okay, my understanding again is that the minimum bid would be 4,000 per fruit.
Yes.
So we can say that we would allocate the resource like 5842 at 4,000 euros per fruit.
But will the government be happy about it? It's only the minimum price.
Well, but
like,
that's
otherwise.
Otherwise,
from my understanding, it's like first step one, we agree on the joint proposal.
And then
second, the government will allocate the 10,000 based on our price, like 52 and 48.
But that's
based on the slightly different bidding price we offer. Because like if we all present to the government that we were willing to pay 4,000, it will be half-half. Because you offer the same price. Why should I give you like 52%, give you 48%? That's my understanding. It's not a big deal, but it may incur when we calculate how many compensation we will offer to the other side.
Again, I think what we are submitting in the joint proposal is how we divide the fruits, and then it's going to be at the minimum price. That's my understanding, because I don't see, like, if you decide on an allocation, what are you going to bid? Are you going to bid higher than the minimum price?
No, actually, it's proportionally based on the, like, for example, if you bid 4,000 for each fruit, to get 58, I may bid like 1.5% higher, like 5,000 for each fruit, and then I get my proportion. You get your proportion, based on your bidding price. But this is maybe a little bit like smaller size.
Well, okay, that's not how I understand the process.
Okay.
So, but like, let's just agree that if there is no like rebidding afterward, we just like set the price at like 4,000.
4,000, I agree. I'm saying that the only difference is if we want to decide how much compensation I give to you, that is based on the price and.
So what I would propose is that we just like basically the calculation of 4,000, and if it comes that
higher
that I misunderstood,
number,
then we just like adjust to the numbers of the
difference.
Difference.
Fair enough. Yeah, cool.
So what you would get then at 58%, you would get 5,800 fruits, right?
Yeah.
At 8,000 profit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that would be.
Do you have a calculator?
Well, it's like 48,000 minus.
But I'm only like ready to compensate you on the incremental part.
Sorry?
On incremental part. The incremental would be, which the basis is 5,000 units.
Oh, so you want to compensate me on like 800 fruits?
No. I mean, I'm ready to compensate you on the incremental part, because now it's like this is the price, right? Initially, the price we will get 5,000 and 5,000 each, and now you are willing to give me like 800 more of the fruit. So my compensation part is only based on this, not 5,000 each. You got an idea?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You want to compensate me on the 800.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, but no, I don't, like, that's not what I thought about.
What you thought about?
Sorry.
What do you thought about? Yeah.
I was thinking that I would get a compensation on the whole profit. That would be turned back as a compensation on the whole profit of the leukemia medication, or on the, actually, to make it more even, as a compensation on the price of the synthetic when it's produced.
What is the exact number you have?
So I don't have a number yet, right?
Yeah.
So the expected production cost of a synthetic is going to be much smaller than the
800 fruit.
No, it's going to be much smaller than whatever 4,000 euros we're paying here by fruit, right? As expected.
Yeah.
So what we can agree is that you pay for if the product is developed over 3 years, right? You will for 3 years after that you will get the synthetic product at like 25% of the price.
Yeah, but I'm not sure whether we need this synthetic compound actually. So the problem is this fruit have two functions maybe. For us, it's like ready to use to address the demand in the market, and for you guys, it's like synthetic compound or production. It's take much long time. From the message I get, we are ready to address the market need.
Yes, but so if we keep first, even if you address the market needs, if I can offer you the synthetic compound at like
it's nice to have
at like a fourth of the price, you still add like 3,000 euros per fruit, or 3,000 euros per synthetic compound of profit to your product.
Okay.
So to me, it sounds like an increase of like more than 25% of your margin.
I don't even know my margin. Why do you know our margin?
What?
I don't even have that number of.
No, but I'm just saying based on the number that you've communicated, right?
Okay, yeah.
So the 12,000 minus 4,000 is 8,000.
Yeah.
If you add another 3,000, it gets up to 11,000. 3,000 is more than 25% of the 8,000.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Based on those numbers.
Yeah, based on this number.
So I have a hard time understanding why you would not be interested in buying
Synthetic.
that synthetic.
Yeah.
Right.
So how about you just give me your offer? Like, what do you think?
So that was my offer, right? To get a percentage. I haven't figured out yet exactly how much it would be. I need to
calculate it.
Kind of calculate it.
Yeah.
But so if your profit is then it's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, 46.2 millions, right? Based on the numbers that we have here.
58.
Check that.
Yeah, 46.4.
46.4
Yes,
million. So 46.4 out of 3 years, and so we have so my point would be we would agree to sell you the synthetic at the price of like 1,000, which is like 4 times less than fruit, right?
Yeah. How much is the price again?
1,000 against 4,000, right?
Against, okay.
For like 3 years.
Okay.
Okay.
Like after 3 years.
After, yeah, well, by the moment, if it's 5 years, we would agree on like selling it to you for 5 years. If it's 3 years, then it would be for 3 years. Okay. And then we would have to renegotiate the price.
Okay. So it's like 1/4 of the fruit price.
Exactly. 1/4 of the fruit price.
Mm-hmm.
And then in exchange of that, what we would ask for to delay the production of our like phase 3 medication for leukemia would be 10% of the profit on the first per year.
Total profit.
Yeah.
Think about it.
And my mathematics are a bit rusty, but
what's the success rate of your like result?
That's
Is-
something that I'm not allowed to disclose at the time.
Really? And you're having this.
Actually, to
You
be
have some.
even more transparent, I don't have the number.
Really, there's certain like possibility that you may fail in this
What?
research, right?
So we
Yeah, it's like
yeah, I
certain
can
success
give you
rate.
like I can give you like an order, like an
Uh-huh.
a set of ideas.
Yeah.
We got some. We got on the fast track to
Mm.
develop that
Mm.
that medication
Mm-hmm.
because of the really successful result of phase 2.
Okay.
So we have like high hopes,
Mm-hmm.
and it's something in which the company has like put a lot of effort.
I
But
understand. But
I can't give you a percentage.
yeah, I know. Like think of those clinical trials. If you have seen that, like this is phase 2 and this is phase 3 and this is final release of the medicine, and I would say there are certain probability that you will fail, right?
There is a probability that we fail.
Okay, I have to consider this part because we are betting on the future, like 3 or 5 years.
But that's on our medication part, right? And the compensation would not be based on on the medication part.
Because like we are giving you the money right now, but we are betting on the future, which is 3 to 5 years. So it's not like equivalent value where we should compare. You should have some discount on that future forecast. Let me see. First, allow me some time to calculate the number. If you are asking for like 10% of our revenue each year, right?
Mhm.
So for 3 years, it's gonna be like almost 14 million. That's almost 30% of our 1 year revenue, and
Well, which makes sense because it's like 10% per year
yeah,
over 3 years.
yeah, I know. So I'm calculating. However, do you have any information indicating that after 3 years, after you finish the clinical trial, what's gonna be the number or the allocation of the fruit?
No,
It's still based on our mutual agreement, or like
to me,
going
it
the-
should be should be in the agreement that we keep the same allocation.
Yeah.
Every year.
Mhm. Calculate. This seems fair for us because we gotta save more if after 3 years. Actually, yeah, I can see that's a fair agreement. Yeah, except the part that the success rate is not so sure about this.
Well, it's not so sure for the medication, but again,
Yeah.
I didn't give you any indexation to our medication. That's going to be our risk.
Mm-hmm.
The other part is going to be your risk.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that's a fair degree. So let me summarize this. We are give you like at the current stage we get 5,800 fruit and you get 4,200, right? This
Yeah.
year fruit,
Exactly.
and we give you 10% of our revenue, which is like 4.6 million each year.
Yeah.
Support you for 3 years, and after 3 years you will sell us the synthetic.
3 to 5 years, depending on the time, right? But if after 3 years the synthetic is not yet developed,
Yeah.
then that goes for 4 years. But then we extend
Okay.
the revenue cut for like four more years.
But we need to like if I'm calculating the money value, we still need to clarify about 3 or 5 years. I know you are not sure about it, but like
So
for 5
obviously-
years, it's like our loss too,
Obviously,
because we need to like support you for.
obviously, I think our interests are aligned there.
Yeah.
We both want to like make it as quick as possible because the moment
Yes.
we get it,
Yes.
we can also market our product. We can also like get our product to phase 3,
Mhm.
which is our priority.
I understand. So I want to make it clear here that our compensation to you is like 3 years or 5 years. I would prefer like 3 years. Like if it takes you 5 years to produce this product, how would you gonna be? Like I'm putting this into consideration because maybe our money stops at 3 years, and you still have 4,000 fruit for your yearly analysis, and that part of money is not. Yeah. Because for us, it's not economically make sense to support you for 5 years. It's
So
way more than the.
Let's make it 4 years.
Yeah.
I guess that's the
Yeah.
average.
Yeah, I'll calculate. Yeah, 4 years maybe 10% is
At
too
least I have
much.
a good incentive to with my teams to tell them to like go fast.
I think if we calculate if we calculate 4.6 million revenue to you plus 3 years or 4 years or 5 years versus the discount we can get from you, this if these two equation equals, that's line between 3 to 4 years. So like in 3 years we make a little bit benefit according to the arrangement, and for 4 years
A bit loss.
yeah, a bit loss, but it's not big money. So I think for our mutual benefits, I will be happy with 4 years, and hopefully you can make it in 3 years. I'm willing to bet you on this positive side.
Perfect.
Yeah, and
Well,
I'm willing to give you my money, maybe support you 1 more year for 5 years, for
well,
4 years.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's shake on that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we like went way above the time.
Oh,
It's supposed to be
that's
like
cool. Hey.
30 minutes.